Interpersonal, effective interpersonal skills. The next topic is by Mr. Aravind Chandok. The topic is Listen Well. Mr. Aravind Chandok brings with him more than 24 years of training and consulting experience. He works with the leading corporates and sessions are very lively and experiential. Mr. Aravind.
Hello. Hello. Can you hear me? Yeah, loud enough? Yeah. So first, before I start the presentation, let me first congratulate all of you for having been present here at this particular time. So a big hand to all of us, please. Before I came here, I was thinking at 2:45 a.m. I have to take a session on listening well. And that's the time when people would be sleeping, okay? But when I came here, and even now I came half an hour back, I could clearly see that everybody seems to be awake. So I don't think I have a challenge of getting you people to listen to me, but the challenge is for me to ensure that by the end of this session you don't sleep. Okay, so let me try that out very effectively, okay? See, basically I have been doing a lot of work for various corporates across the country, and having done more than 2,000 man-days of training. But whenever I get a chance to do something for the students, it does kindle a new motivation in my whole system. Okay? Today we are going to look at a skill which is about listening well or listen well. Okay? If I look back, this is a skill which everybody feels they do very well. You ask anybody, he says, boss, I'm a great listener. I can listen very well. You know, like he was saying to people saying, people don't love me. But when you ask them what they say, I listen well, but people don't want to listen. A few signals which could tell you, let me ask a question. How many of you have faced a situation when you found people telling you, boss, why don't you listen to me? Has anybody faced this while talking to people? They tell you, why don't you listen to me? Okay? Now what does this signal imply? Somewhere you are not listening to the other person. Many times while communicating, what do we find? We find people telling us that I'm not able to understand what you are saying. Or why are you not understanding what I'm saying? Now these are all small signals which tells that somewhere the listening needs to improve. So today we are going to go into the concept of listening well. And when we talk about listening well, okay, it is not just about telling people that you've understood what they are saying, but it's also about telling them that yes, I appreciate what you're saying and I would like to take it forward the way you are saying. The main benefits, let me start with the benefits of listening. What are the main benefits of listening? Okay, if you look back, I won't ask you that, I will say it myself, is your ability to build better relationship. How come you can build better relationship with people when you are listening to them? Because when you listen to them, like I hope all of you are listening to me, it makes me feel that okay, you have given me the required respect. Okay? You are a person who feels what I am saying has a lot of meaning. So that is where I feel to understand that, okay, this person is listening to me. See, when you are communicating with people, what happens? I would say there are 4 activities which take place. 4 activities. What are those activities? Number 1, okay, while you are communicating, you are reading something around or you are observing the other person. Okay. While you are observing, you are also doing listening and you are also talking. Can any of you tell me, if you take a score of 100, let's take a score of 100, how much % of the time you feel we should be reading when we are with people around us? Anybody, any guesses here? What should be the percentage you should be doing the concept of reading? You are with the person, you do read something, you do observe something, you do listen and you talk. Anybody has any idea how much person should be on that? Anybody here? Can guess that? Yeah? Okay. I'm sure many of us say, if you ask somebody, we say we should read more. Somebody says, no, we should talk more, we should listen more. Or somebody will say, no, we should observe more. There are certain equations. A lot of research talks about certain equations. So if I really look at this, now working? Is it put in the system? No, I need that. Difficult to. Okay, so quickly if we look at this whole session, okay, I would look at it in the following areas. One is in terms of understanding, that's what I've been doing. And then we will be looking at the benefits of listening. And then we also get into the communication equation, listening versus hearing. And that is where a lot of things become very important. Okay, so when you look at the concept of listening, okay, what do we say? It is about communicating clearly to people. Generally, many of us feel that, talking is very, very important. And when you ask anybody, are you a good communicator? He says, yeah. Why am I a good communicator? Because I can talk well. But listening is equally important while you are communicating with people. Only when you listen, you tend to understand. And if you notice what it clearly says, when you listen to people, when you understand them, there's a lot of misunderstanding goes away. And that leads to a system where the arguments are also less. So if I quickly summarize the benefits of listening well, I just covered this and just helps to improve relationship. Right? Today, just now, he spoke about interpersonal relationship. Okay, but if I'm not going to listen to people, I'm not going to understand them, how am I going to improve my relationship? Apart from that, it also shows a lot of respect to the other person. People who are communicating, who are listening to others, it surely shows that you are giving a lot of respect. Now let's say, for example, I'm talking here. You're all listening to me, right? And if you're not going to listen and you're going to look here, look there, and not going to pay attention, it surely feels that you're not giving respect to the other person. I found it many times. You're talking with somebody, he's talking to you, but you're looking somewhere else. Surely it puts that person off. So it is not, it's lack of respect to that person. Okay, it reduces a lot of misunderstanding because you've understood better, and it avoids hurting feelings of others because you have given them the required respect. So surely they would feel happy and helps to understand the situation better. When can I understand the situation better? Only when I listen to them. That's when many times we get statements such as, why are you not understanding me? I don't think you understand me. It happens in a lot of households when you go back and you find that a lot of things are happening at home, but you are not aware about it. And then you feel bad. Why am I not aware? The reason is very clear. Because they say no use of telling you. One, you don't want to listen. Second, half the time you don't understand what we say. So it's not about that. And of course, it helps to focus on the conversation. So we do have many such benefits of listening, where it also reduces conflicts and argument. And when I talked about the equation, okay, this is what I was talking about, the communication equation. Okay, we read, we observe, we listen, we talk. These are the four things which takes place. And ask anybody, they say we are great. What does it say? Of course, you do observe the person whom you are talking to 9% of your time. Now, I'm not going to say you look at the watch and say 9%. But overall, it's 9% is what you look at. You read around 16%. Sometimes rather than reading, it can also be you write, you note down. You just can't keep noting all the time. You got to look at the other person. So you talk 30% and you listen. How much is left? What's the total? How much is left here? Yeah? Good. So good in maths. Fantastic. You listen around 45%. That's where let me ask this guy a difficult question. How many years do you have? How many years do you have? How would you answer? Just answer me. What do you understand? How many years do you have? 21 years, I think. Let's give him a hand for that, please. Okay, because I felt human beings have only 2 years. But he says he has 21 years. What did I ask you? How many years do I have? So you see how he did not understand. And what all of us think? I listen very well. And when you answer, you feel, boss, my answer is right. So the question to you, maybe once again, why do you have Maybe one more question can I ask you? It's a slightly difficult question. Would you like to try it? How many mouths do you have? Sure. Give him a hand, please. He's answered it right. He has only one mouth. So why do you have 2 ears and one mouth? God created, that's all the excuses what we try to put across. Yeah, we got 2 ears, one mouth for what? To listen more. But what normally happens? The river, I wouldn't say that. Whether this is open or no, this is always open. And I won't say this is not open. This also is open, but it's a direct bypass. Comes from here and goes there. And that's what we say. We have, we need to listen more and talk less. Or I would say, remember, we have 2 ears and one mouth. So that's what we say. Listen more, talk less. Ask anybody, no, I listen. But let's understand over here, a big question which everybody talks about. If you look even in this room, we have a small research. What does it say? It says the law of compensation. Okay, if you look here itself, you would have found some of us answering, some of us not answering. When you meet people, somebody will talk a lot, somebody will not talk a lot. So basically, if you look back, in majority, we say there are 2 types of people. Okay? The first one, when you look at it, the type A person, what does he do? He talks or responds 75% to 80%. Whereas he listens only 20 to 25%. If you take a cross section. And then there's also one more person called type B. What does he do? He listens 75 to 80%, talks. Now my question to all of you is, who is a better listener, A or a B? Yeah, I knew that would come immediately because we feel we always understand everything. Okay, but do we say that listening is only got to be listened and you should not be talking? Then how will people feel? They will not like it. And this is what you should understand. Most of us feel, either we fall in A or we fall in B. But a good listener, which I'm trying to get across to understand, it's not that I listen and don't reciprocate. Look at type A. What type of person is type A? Who talks a lot. In language, what is a blade? Blade vandata. Blade has come on. He opens his mouth, he's not going to stop. So what happens when you see a person coming, your friend coming, who talks a lot? What do you do immediately? What do you tell yourself? Vandata, right? And you want to run away from there. But when you're free, what do? Hey, Vapa, come. Yeah, so you started and he starts talking. Are you trying to listen to what he's saying or you're trying to pass your time? Absolutely right, pass your time. And what about B? You are in a group and you find the person does not talk much, does not participate, okay? Then what do you say? He is not at all interesting. So basically what I'm trying to put across to all of us is, when we talk about the law of compensation, basically we say it's not about maybe we have 2 ears, one mouth, listen more, talk less. But practically, what do we try to say? Wherever you are, we say it's about, where you talk or respond 45 to 55, or you listen, understand. So basically, if you